Hi guys, how are you? I'm making this video today because I'm start receiving portfolios for my portfolio review service, and as you know, and as I said in my previous video, I announced this way of making a very strict, serious and meticulous type of analysis of portfolio, which is a service that I give to you. And of course there is a small fee on this service that is really cheap, but it's it takes me 3 days to make it. Some of you started to me think that it was for free, and therefore when I announced that there was a small fee, few of you disappeared. But there are a lot of people that accept it, and they already start getting their feedbacks with my portfolio analysis. And I'm making this video because now, after a couple of weeks that I'm receiving portfolios and making this type of analysis, I can have a sort of an idea of the main mistakes or the main things that are missing in your portfolios. So I make this video because I would like to tell you to be aware of certain things when you put together your portfolio, okay? And of course, to renew to you my service type, that if you really need help, you can send it to me to this email, and of course with a small fee I will make an analysis, deep analysis of your portfolio, so that you can get a good feedback, a strong feedback, and you will know exactly what you have to do in order to improve it slide by slide, okay? Because that's the thing, I do it slide by slide, but I also give at the end an overall analysis that explains step by step all the good and the bad things and what you can do to improve your portfolio. So the first thing I would like to tell you is that I look at the structure of your portfolio, okay? When I'm talking about the structure, I mean the editorial graphics, the way your portfolio presents itself. And it's not only about creativity, projects, and number of projects, it's the way of how it works visually. So I look at your first cover, I start looking at all the slides, and that's exactly the moment when I have the feeling whether you have a good or a bad structure, okay, or editorial graphics. It doesn't look old, does it look organized, does it look confusing? And what I noticed is that many of you have the same problem in common. You have lots of good ideas in your slides, but you put all of them together, and many times during your making your portfolio, from project to project, or even in the same project, you change structure. So for me, that I am the viewer that does not know you, that sees that portfolio for the first time, and believe me, I really have 5 minutes to check it and decide whether your portfolio is good or bad, whether I have to contact you or leave it alone. It's very confusing to see that the structure of your portfolio is constantly changing. So the first advice that I give you is that the structure and editorial graphics of your portfolio must be one, and you have to keep it with consistency from the beginning until the end. Therefore, that will be your personal signature, the way you like to do things. It's a sort of a graphic visual philosophy, and you keep it so that I know that that guy or that girl has that particular type of portfolio because of that graphics, the way he puts the logos, the way he puts the notes, the way he puts indications, the way he displays or she displays the drawings or the illustrations, the type of backgrounds, you know, all that stuff. It all comes together. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that most of you don't have a content page. Once I see the cover, I need to have a content page, like in books, you know, that every chapter, page, what each chapter will talk about and stuff. So also in your portfolio. Portfolio is a mini book. It's a mini book that is talking about you professionally. but it also tells a little bit about you as a human person. So if it's order, it shows me that you are somebody that knows what he's talking about and is an ordered person. If it's in disorder or confusionary, it looks to me like you are somebody maybe that does not pay attention to some important details, and maybe also in your private life you are somebody that has a confusionary way of living, which is not very positive. So the main mistakes is missing the content slide. And then you have all your projects. Now, some people put few projects, only 3. 3 projects, not enough. The average should be 5. Now, if you have 7, even better. How many slides per project? I would say 4 or 5. So that totally, globally, for all your projects, you have around 40 pages. For 40 slides. Of course, each slide can have more than an illustration or more than a sketch. But don't forget that when you have your projects, you have to add also your inspiration board or the mood board. Because that's today, it's very important. Today, design is so much marketing, you know. And if you don't show that you have that sensibility in understanding your client type or what type of vision you have for that project, it's gonna be a little bit less important or less professional than other people that will have in their portfolio that type of information or slides. Then another thing I would like to talk about is creativity and skills. Let's talk first about skills. Skills are very important, are extremely important, and we are still looking at freehand sketches. I always say it, but a lot of portfolios have only digital stuff. If you add a couple of slides in which you show your brainstorming stage with lots of freehand sketches, even done on paper, even better, if you do it on paper, and those sketches, okay, you scan, and some of those you put a little bit of marker so that you create a sort of focal point on the slide, it's even better. Because it's a way for you to put the accent, to communicate to somebody, hey, look, this is my key sketch. You don't need to write key sketch. A lot of people write key sketch. You need to put on the key sketch a little bit of marker, some highlights, maybe with acrylic paint, the way I do, and that looks a very human touch. It gives a very human touch, strong human touch to that slide. It's something that has a little bit of romanticism, and that's very much appreciated. Then another thing is about the skills. Another thing is that you have to draw well. So don't make mistakes in perspective or your wheels, because I'm still correcting those on final portfolios. It cannot be possible. Okay? So when you have the perspective that is doing this, don't forget this wheel. A lot of people forget this wheel. So here everything is white. It's not, cannot be. I need to see that wheel, because if you don't put that wheel also, if you sketch this way, okay, look, that's the wheel you forget. The one in the back, in the front, but in the back side. And you often make this mistake. That's a very bad mistake, because it shows me you don't pay attention. That's your sketch. It's a nice sketch in perspective. You are not making a 3-wheeler, you are making a 4-wheeler car. So don't forget your wheels, because many times I make those type of corrections. The other thing, the last, about projects, your creativity. Remember, we don't care about restylings. We don't care about restylings because we are able to do those by ourselves already. So when you make a portfolio with a very traditional design approach, we get bored. We want to see somebody that has a very good creativity, a very good visionary mind that can project us into something that we don't even know. That's important. And don't worry about, yeah, but if it is too visual, maybe people think that I cannot make real cars. That's stupid, because we will teach you how to make real cars. Don't worry about that. So what is more important, it's your creativity level. And you have to push for that. Now, the last information, then I finish. Your CV. Few people don't put their CV. So who are you? And those that put the CV, put a CV that is in disorder, is not in the right order. Remember, I repeat it here. Your name, personal information, your school, starting from the latest school, so the most recent. I must know right away if you have a master, a bachelor, or a university degree of a different type of school. I need to know your actual level today in terms of diplomas. Then you put your professional experience, and once again, always starting from the most recent one. So, which one is your latest stage or internship, or if you are working now, so this is indeterminate type of contract, time contract, okay? So I must know the latest, and then you go back in the history in terms of order. Then another thing very important, do you speak languages? Put your languages, starting from your mother tongue. Do you have particular type of skills on digital media? Put a short list, 3, 4, you know, Alias, Photoshop, VRED, whatever. Excel, Microsoft Office, which is important. Put that in too. And just to complete your CV, do you have hobbies? Photography, sports? Put 2, 3 things. It's important to show that you are not only obsessed with drawings, but you, in your private life, you dedicate your free time also to other things in life. That's good. And this should be on one slide or one A4 format page. Now, if you decide to put your picture, don't put funny faces, okay? Remember, this is a professional CV. Thank you. Ciao.